Welcome to the West Business Development Center. My name is Kelly Geiser, and I'm the event coordinator here at West, hosting today's webinar, Working with Galleries. West is a nonprofit funded by the federal SBA Small Business Administration Program. We are both a women's business center and small business development center for Mendocino and Lake County. Through federal and state agencies matched with local community contributions, it is your tax dollars that allow us to provide our services to you for free. These services include one-on-one counseling, webinars, loan package readiness, and advising to small business owners and entrepreneurs at every stage of business development. We also have a pool of expert advisors that cover niche business needs, from permitting to HR and e-commerce, and even the one-off instructors like Bob and Kate for art entrepreneurs. So if you'd like to learn more about becoming a West client, please visit our website or give our office a call. Just a quick disclaimer that today's webinar is for informational and educational purposes only. You can read this in more detail on our website. And just a quick reminder, we are recording today's webinar. An email with the link to the recording and a copy of today's slides will be sent to everyone who registered. So please keep an eye out for it in your inbox, spam box, or junk box in the next few days. And without further ado, I'm pleased to present Kate and Bob, who will present today's webinar, Working with Galleries.
Yay.
Thanks,
My
Kelly.
goodness, Kelly, thank you so much. This is a subject that is really close to our hearts, and I'm so glad that you're here to join and listen to the presentation. And yes, do please ask questions. And we will attempt to answer during, I'll ask Kelly from time to time if there's any questions coming up that need some attention, or she can help us out with that too. And there will be time toward the end to actually get some of your questions bounced off to us. So that'll be great. This particular webinar is all about that artist-gallery relationship. And it can be an interesting relationship. We kind of refer to it as a love-hate relationship. But my God, galleries.
We love galleries.
We do love galleries. And galleries and artists need each other. That is the bottom line. In order to make that profit, make that money, get known for both ends of it, it's that symbiotic relationship of how artists and galleries work together to make the magic happen. You can do it on your own without a gallery. There's many things that you can do without a gallery to get your name out and to sell your work and everything. But what we learned in working with a wide variety of galleries, and of course, some are better at being galleries than others, and we'll share stories about that. It's a fine line, and there's a lot about integrity, about being truthful, about being honest.
Yeah, all up front. If there's any problems ever, that's usually based on money. So
yeah. So we'll
Kate's
get
going to talk
through,
about that.
Yeah, and we're going to go through a lot of things. We're going to go through the different types of galleries and advisors and consultants and all those other people that will help you make money. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to talk about, well, how do I find that perfect fit of a gallery? And we're going to talk about how to keep your gallery excited
and
about
happy.
you. Yes, and how to keep you excited about your gallery. And then, of course, we're going to talk about red flags. Those feelings like, oh, do I really want to go with this particular, we'll talk about it. And, the disclaimer mentioned that this is for educational purposes. We'd also like to think that this is for entertainment too. Yeah, well,
now I have to juggle. No.
But we do. The thing about the way that Bob and I like to give information is with a little bit of humor, with a little bit of storytelling.
For a serious subject, though, so we keep it lighthearted.
We could easily get into that stuff that will make your head just explode. So we don't want to go that way. We want to go more of the, okay, this is what has worked for us.
Storytelling too, lots of stories.
Lots of stories. It's an interesting thing. You're going to learn different kernels of information with
Yeah.
everybody that you take a workshop or a webinar or do a consult with. And, you can choose to follow their advice or work it out on your own. You'll always learn something. You will always learn something. So we hope that you find that something today. So Kelly, let's go ahead and go to the first slide. All righty.
I love this chart because it explains real fast what everybody does and is expected to do and how they get paid. And artists may be grumpy about this, but this is the true hard truth out there. And this is how it works. I think Kate's broken it down pretty nicely.
Yeah, there's a lot of folks that are going to take your money, and there's a lot of people that are going to help you sell your work. It just depends on what you need at any given time. And you'll see how it's split up. What the actual occupation is, how are they paid? Is it through commission? Fee-based means you are going to be paying them. That's what fee-based means. And it's either an hourly rate or perhaps a per project rate, or something else that you come up with that person. And then what the service is, whether they sell your art or they give advice, or they have contacts and they'll give advice, or they arrange for art purchases and sales, or they simply arrange exhibitions, and that's all they do. So when you are hiring somebody as an advisor or a consultant or a coach, those are not people that will generally sell your work, but they will help you put yourself together, with the resume, the bio, the statement, making sure you have the photos, perhaps helping you with your website layout or how your portfolio is put together. That's what those people do. They'll help you with that. The other folks, they expect you to have everything together.
Like a lot of artwork.
Yeah, a lot of artwork,
Yeah.
all of your info. So you are basically a complete package before you get to them. And of course, those folks are the art reps, the agents, the gallery directors, and of course, the corporate art consultants as well. They're not going to take you from the ground floor and build your career. They're not going to handhold you to well, I think you should use this painting and not that one. No, they're not going to do
Or what
that.
to paint.
That's your advisor, that's your coach. The other people, they want you to be ready for them to hit the ground running, basically. So you will have a copy of this, so you don't have to, take a picture or write it all down or anything, because you'll get a copy of this slide. And that's a good remembrance of, okay, that's right. So I'm looking for a coach right now. I need a manager right now. But I have to be totally honest with you. So many artists, they'll come to us, they'll come to me, and they'll say, I just want an art rep. I
want somebody to do all the work, right?
But you know what the secret is, and of course it's not a secret because you know this. You have to be the one that's going to be the captain of the ship. It's always going to come from you. You're still going to have to make decisions. You're still going to be the one to figure out what to paint and what you want it to be representing for you. Then they're there to help you sell it, but you still have to be in command.
You're the boss of your company, and you don't have to act like a little wounded puppy dog when they tell you what to paint. Oh, we want you to paint your skies bluer, add more clouds, or whatever they tell you to do, because now it becomes their painting or their piece of artwork. So be careful about them critiquing your work. You can certainly take comments obviously, I welcome comments, but not so much critiques. I've been through that process in my head.
Yeah, and we will get into this sort of thing because galleries, they do know what's going to sell.
Yes,
They do know what their clients are looking for. So that is a little bit
they will have
past
opinions. Yeah,
what this slide is all about. But it's all good stuff, and we're definitely getting to that. But I wanted you to have this background.
yeah.
So you see exactly what all of these folks that can help you sell your work and take your money are all about. So yeah, let's go to the next slide.
Really quick, Trina asked, what would be an example of a comment versus a critique?
Bob, you take that since you brought it up.
You had to ask, all right? No.
And I'll
Well,
give an
Yeah,
example.
I
when
mean,
he's done.
there are people who just go around and for some reason they think they know so much about art and they start critiquing other people's artwork. I've seen
Now, are
that.
you talking about a gallery?
No,
Are you
no,
talking?
that's
just
great. I
about
should be get back to
people?
the gallery. Well, if the gallery starts giving you a critique, that means they can't sell it. And Kate's going to talk about, why your work is selling or not selling in a gallery too. And comments like, wow, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. And that's more of a comment. But when they start saying, nah, we don't like checkerboards and tablecloths and paintings of dead rabbits because we don't like dead rabbits, whatever. So that's the difference.
I'll give you another example as well. We've been with a lot of galleries. We have done. Go ahead and go to the next slide, Kelly, and I'll continue to answer this question because it's really good. We've been in the co-op gallery with other artists. We've been in a pop-up gallery. We've been in the alternative gallery spaces too. Your libraries and the hair salons and things like that, which are not true galleries. We've also been in the commercial gallery, which is the big city gallery, basically. It's the one that has the gallery director, and it's not run by artists, but they actually have the salespeople in there that have the clientele. When we joined our first large commercial gallery, it was in the San Francisco area, just right downtown. And they had a very strong presence. And this gallery owner, she had a very strong opinion, and she loved Bob's work. And then what she wanted to do was to steer him into painting like some other artists.
Copying other artists.
Because she thought, well, he's so flexible. He can do this because I can't represent this artist, but Bob can do work like this artist, which we thought was kind of icky, actually.
I forgot about that.
And we turned her down on that. We said, no, I don't think that he would be comfortable in doing that. We would just prefer that he continues on with his own style. So I think that that's a good example of a comment versus a critique. You just kind of have to you have to have a backbone when you're dealing with galleries, because they will have their ideas. They want to make money. You want to make money. But you need to kind of go, okay, this is my style. This is what I want to do. And if you want me to go into a different direction, it's a choice. It's a yes or a no.
Yes. Yeah, that's really selling out. And it's not you, and you'll be happy for a while because you can copy other artists and you're good at it. We all are. But then after a while, it's going to eat you away and you just won't be happy. So be careful there.
Yeah, that's a word of caution. Caution. So types of galleries. And this sort of gets us into how to find that wonderful gallery that you want to work with. So I've talked about the commercial. Most of you probably know what a co-op gallery is. It can be, cooperative, basically. It can be, a group of artists that are like-minded, they're all friends, they have something in common, they decide to open a gallery. It can even be an art association co-op gallery where you are expected as a member of the co-op to sit, gallery sit. Gallery sit, also sell, not necessarily just your work, because Tuesday might be your day to sit. So that's sort of what the co-op is about. Pop-up galleries, I just think they're great.
Yeah.
The energy around pop-up galleries is wonderful. And this is a relatively new thing, I would say within the past 10 to 12, maybe 15 years. They are galleries that will just like that. They will pop up, they will open in an empty storefront. All of a sudden, here's a gallery and it's going to be open for 2 weeks. And here it is.
And the work is usually pretty adventuresome and pretty great. And you never knew you may have had this quality of artists in your own community. The quiet ones that carve really neat carvings or three-dimensional work or jewelry, that kind of a thing. So it's great to also meet other artists that are local, that go to these pop-up art show openings.
Our local museum in San Luis Obispo, they sponsor pop-up galleries, which is cool. So you're affiliated with a museum and they just pop up. They're there for maybe just an evening or a month. We were involved in a really fun pop-up gallery show. The show was only 3 days long. It was in a gallery in Key West, Florida. And they had the regular show going on. I think it was a 2-month gig for a couple of artists. And it was stuff on the wall. It was 2D on the wall, 3D on the floor. And then they brought in Bob and another artist, gave them about about a third of the floor space, carved out some really interesting floating walls and all, and had them come in for right around Valentine's Day. And oh my goodness, it was sensational because it popped up. There's an immediacy about it. And we sold a lot of work.
A lot of heart paintings too. I mean, hello.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. The other type of gallery, this fourth one that I've listed, it is known in the trade as a vanity gallery. Maybe they have other names for it now too, but this is the type of gallery that you are basically you're paying rent. You are renting space within this gallery wall. It's a brick and mortar. It's not a virtual gallery. It will have an address. Sometimes, New York, which looks great on your resume to say, yes, I have a gallery in New York, but you could be paying rent.
You will be paying rent.
Now here's the situation of how this particular type of gallery works. You'll be paying for perhaps a 3 by 4 foot space. And if you want to have a bin for unframed work underneath said space, well, then that will cost you more. If you want to have a group show during the calendar year, then that will cost you more. If you want to have a solo show, that's going to cost you a lot more. So they will have a sliding schedule of what the different fees are. It would be a contractual thing and you would sign up, early. They will choose you. You just don't go and get in and pay your money. They will choose you. Before I even realized what this type of animal was, I sent Bob's work in for a competition. It was Agora Gallery in New York. And some of you may have seen Agora Gallery advertisements in New York. And so I went ahead and sent in my fee. I think it was $25 or something. And this was back with slides. So I sent in slides. This is a long time ago. And so I sent all this stuff. And so I was so excited when I got this letter saying, congratulations, we have selected you to be a part of a Agora Gallery. And, I'm starting to jump up and down, getting real excited, and I'm continuing to read, and I'm going down the list. And then they had all of the prices and all of the things, and commit to this, and it's this much money. And I went, wait a minute. And so we did not do that. We opted not to. And I didn't have really good thoughts at the
It was
time
gut feelings.
about vanity galleries. I thought, well, that's kind of cheating. And well, we don't need to do that. We can get our own gallery. And then, through the years, I have to be honest that my thoughts about vanity galleries really have changed. I'm of the mind now that, if you have the money, if you have the funds, why not?
And it shows that you're a player.
Yeah.
You're in the art business. Here's another little small space, but there's your show,
Yeah.
solo show, amongst other art things.
Right.
But it keeps your name
Keeps your
amongst
name out. Yep.
out with all the other artists too.
Absolutely.
So
And it is commission based as well. So yeah, you're paying monthly rent plus your add-ons for shows and stuff like that. But then you're also giving a commission, so they have a reason to sell your work.
Yeah.
If you paid no commission, then those salespeople, they wouldn't care.
there's no incentive.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm happy to pay these people. They're working, and you're actually hiring them to work and sell your work. It's one way of looking at it anyway.
So the thing about looking for a gallery, there is a gallery out there for everyone. I firmly, truly believe this. And you just have to do your research, folks, because it's not going to drop on your head. Nothing's ever going to just go, here's your gallery. No, you're going to have to really look. And I'm always going to say, whenever you travel anywhere, look up the galleries, visit them in person, see, will my work fit here? Do I like them? I was doing some gallery shopping for Bob in Chicago. I was going there to visit my son. And so I thought, let's spend a day and just look at galleries. So I walked into some places, and, the salespeople, they were sitting there on the computer and they were playing computer games, and they didn't look up. We walked in, we were dressed nicely. There was
Oops.
nothing wrong with us. And they were just playing computer games. And they didn't even look up. They didn't even say hello. And I thought, let's leave, because they don't know. I could be anybody, So I always thought, I want to find that gallery that would be friendly, that would say something, that they would greet
you.
me.
They would greet you, right?
Exactly. And browse the internet. When you get your art magazines, when you look online at these different postings, really look at them. If a gallery that you're interested does not even have a website, and there's absolutely no virtual anything going on, cross them off your list, because everything is virtual right now. Everything is. And it's also in person, but the virtual is what's really happening. And really get some good recommendations from artists. So the thing about galleries, you want to make sure that that you're happy with the gallery, that you feel like the gallery has your best interests at heart. If you ever walk into a gallery and you're looking at wanting representation, and they either look at your work in person, or you would send your work via an email, and you get that dreaded, I'm sorry, we can't represent you kind of answer, you can't let it devastate you. It doesn't mean that you're a bad artist. What it actually means is that particular gallery does not have the clientele to support the sales of your particular artwork. That's all it means. So you need to find that perfect fit, that gallery that has your style, but not another artist that is exactly like you.
Yeah. So if you walk into a gallery that does traditional 18th century artwork and you're a contemporary painter with bright, strong colors, you walk in there and say, I'll be different, but that's not who's going to walk into that gallery. People who buy that particular kind of work, but if you're doing traditional landscapes, the beautiful American landscapes, and you walk in and it's extremely abstract, crazy kind of a gallery with lots of attention and spinning things, and you want to fit in there too. So it's got to be a good fit, and the way is, if it feels good, then it might be good.
Yeah, if you do a cutting edge collage and painting, and you walk in and there's Renaissance angels and gold leaf, probably not the best fit for you. Absolutely. So we've done this a couple of different ways. We have visited the galleries, just cold walking in, or we have sent email letters of interest. Now this is what we do. All galleries are always looking for new artists. They always are, because they're looking for new blood.
The next new hot thing.
They're looking for the new hot thing.
Yeah.
Very, very well put. And they want to make money. You want to make money. And if they feel like they can make money with your art, they're going to want you. That's the bottom line. And so what we will do when we are looking for a gallery is we'll go to the different places where we wish to have representation, or we will go to online and maybe go to a particular city and type in galleries, see what comes up. And we will look at the different websites, and on many, many, many gallery websites, there will be a little button. Sometimes you have to look for it, and it will say info for artists, or info for new artists, or artist submissions. Click on that and see what their requirements are. They will ask for how they want the images sent. They will ask probably for your price list. Send them your retail price list. They will ask for resume, bio statement. They will, they'll just want to know more about you to see if you will be a perfect fit for them as well. If you visit in person, this is where the be prepared stuff comes in. So when we have visited, this is the fun part. You walk in, we're there, we're going to be there to
without
look.
Your portfolio. Don't be carrying in this 5-foot big black bag of artwork. If you want to see everyone disappear, you enter into any gallery with your gigantic portfolio, everyone will disappear.
You never want to ambush
No.
don't. The one story that I read in a book, there was an artist that actually he blocked the entrance of the gallery with his car so that people couldn't get out. Don't do that. Do not do that. So when you go in, as Bob said, you don't have your portfolio with you, but my goodness, have images on your phone.
Yeah.
Take your iPad, have your images on that. And maybe have some work in the trunk of your car. I mean, this is the prepared stuff.
If they like it, they might say, geez, do you have anything local that I can see? You might say, well, I have some paintings in the car that represent my recent work. And we'll go get them, and go in the parking lot. And you come in with 2 or 3 paintings. They're looking for the quality of your craftsmanship.
Exactly.
And how well you take care of canvases and how you would present them to them. Are they ready to sell, or would they have to frame them or reframe them, or whatever the relationship is?
Exactly.
So,
exactly. So if you're there in the gallery and you're looking, and if they're a good gallery, they'll walk up and say, how are you doing? How can we help you? You know, and this is good because you want them to say that to everybody. Be honest with them.
And
Say, oh, you know,
tell
I'm
them,
an artist.
I'm an artist and I have a day off, and make it a lighthearted. I have a day off and I'm just shopping around and I'm trying to get inspiration or something like that. They get it. They get it. So that means they're going to back off. They won't be trying to sell you a painting. So tell them early, don't waste their
Don't waste their time.
Okay, and or yours too. But if they are interested, oh, what kind of, now here comes, oh, what
Yeah.
kind of artist? I'm a painter. Oh, what kind of work do you do? Here comes your elevator talk. I'm a contemporary abstract painter and with strong, bright colors. Boom.
And then you say, and here's a few pieces.
And here, and you get out your phone. And here, and by the way, yeah, keep all your paintings together. Don't have it in the middle of your, what you had for dinner last night. Oh, there's pictures of my grandkids. Wait a minute.
Oh,
Wait a minute. Here's one I did 4 years ago. You know, no, don't do that.
set up a file on your device to make sure that you have what you want to show. But you know, I remember interviewing some galleries for an article that I wrote on this subject, and so many of them said that if it was a slow day,
Oh yeah.
they would engage in conversation with artists that came in, and they actually found a lot of artists. Other ways that we have found galleries is we have done outdoor art festivals. Now, I never want to discount that. That is the beautiful way. If you want a gallery shop, enter an outdoor art festival and put your work out there, because that's where the gallery directors go.
They're
Because they
looking for
want
you.
to, yeah,
That's right. They're looking for you.
they're looking for that next hot thing, as Bob said a little earlier. So, you know, again, you're going to have the work there for them to see. You want to have your photos of your work on a device. Now that first little bullet point, a body of work that is ready to go. When I do coaching, when Bob coaches artists in private Zoom sessions, we are both real sticklers on, you know, if somebody says, I really want a gallery, we will say, how many pieces of your particular, you know, body of work, what do you have ready to go? If I probably have about 5, you're not ready. A body of work in our estimation is like between 10 and 20.
20, absolutely 20.
Because people want choice. Galleries need to see a big breadth, you know, the breadth and width of what you can do. Just showing them a couple of things isn't going to cut it. Or showing them landscapes and pet portraits and then some flowers and showing them a bunch of stuff. That's not going to cut it.
They don't know who you are. Yeah, you can do oceanscapes and landscapes and cityscapes and pet portraits and
all that stuff.
All those skits.
Of course you can.
Of course you can.
Of course you can.
And that's one of the things that a lot of artists will do. And I can do this. And oh, look, I can do this. Oh, and I'm doing abstract. Oh, look, I can do this. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Because you've just canceled yourself out of that gallery possibilities because they don't know who you are. All right.
Yeah. When you're ready to promote yourself to find a gallery, narrow it down. Have one concept, one large theme, one body of work, and make your presentation that way, because then they will know who to expect.
You know, and the abstract artist shows up with a bunch of flowers, realistic flowers or something. What?
Yeah, Kelly, go ahead and go to the next slide for us, please.
Really quick, there was a couple questions on this. Karen asked, you touched a little bit on it, but for emerging artists, are art shows and fairs a better investment of time to start with for getting exposure?
I think
not
both,
of the small equipment costs.
Yeah.
And you learn how to work with people and the common man, and you'll find the people who are collectors, and you'll know by how they ask questions. So it's a great education for yourself. I mean, I can't believe how much I learned And that's how we got found
Mhm.
doing in the big galleries. Because
Doing festivals
they're
and doing
looking
other
for you.
shows.
They're looking
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah,
So,
I think so. I think so because you just get a little bit more under your belt of how
Mhm.
the business really works. As if you go straight from emerging to big gallery, then you're missing a lot of steps.
it's hard work.
Yeah,
It's physical work. You're out there in the weather. Your artwork is dealing with the weather, things like that. So it is hard work, but it really pays off financially and also educationally.
yeah, it can absolutely.
Great.
Even if we
Oh,
have sold nothing
I still
at the festival, we still have gotten something. One festival, we got a gallery owner in LA.
yeah.
Yeah, I think we sold about $300 worth of stuff, but we got a
No,
great gallery out of
yeah.
it. So hey, go figure.
speaking of commercial galleries, how long should you leave your paintings with a commercial gallery?
You know that we're gonna get there. I'll just say as a little teaser, it depends on the contract. And it depends on the
The ga- And the
relationship.
gallery will know.
Yeah, and there's two different types of things you're looking at. Yeah, go ahead and go to the next slide, because this might help.
And just really quick, what are your thoughts on online galleries like Saatchi and Artsy?
Those are virtuals, right?
Yeah, virtual online.
They're
Mhm.
oh God.
Tell the truth. He's having a hard time
I'm
telling you the truth.
you know, I think it's a nice
Association.
thank you, Bob. It's a nice association. It's
Incredible.
it's a good
It makes
it's
yeah.
a good side hustle.
Yeah,
But I
it's
don't know if it would ever really pan out into much of anything. I wouldn't put all of my eggs in a Saatchi basket.
Mhm.
You kind of need more, more than just strictly virtual and huge virtual. Those are huge virtual places. My rule of thumb on some of these larger, well-known ones, if they want to charge us a monthly or annual fee to list with them, I generally don't.
No,
Great.
that means they're not selling paintings. If they want to fee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one last question. Is there a disadvantage for being an older artist?
No.
Let's say more than 65 years
No.
old?
No.
Oh my gosh.
No, there's not. Some galleries may, but if you've been in it for a while and you have great credentials,
Great history.
they will love that. If you are just getting started, they may be intrigued with that story too. What it boils down to is if they think they can make money. I hate to put it in such crass terms, but if you're 80 years old and they go, wow, I can sell this.
Yeah, I mean, they'll put a spin on it, like, oh, he's one of those masters. He's been around for.
And we are so lucky to have him. We don't know how much longer he's going to be producing, so you better get it now.
Yeah, we've heard this story.
See how this works? I know it's pretty interesting. There is a law on the books against age discrimination. So there is no need, unless you wish to disclose your age and date of birth. You certainly do not have to put that on a resume or anywhere. So we stopped doing that ages ago, right when that
as I got older,
right when it became law. It's like, okay, well, that's gone. So we do not publicize age.
No.
Yeah.
Don't need to. Good question, though.
I know, great question.
I mean, you can have some hot painters also, who are just real brand new, right out of school. So no, there is no I'm always looking for good art that can be sold by my staff.
Well,
Okay.
not
Not
us,
me.
but Bob's talking as a gallery
Gallery
owner,
owner.
which we are not. So, yes. So Kelly, are there any other questions or should we?
Is there another?
We can move on for now.
Okay, awesome. Okay. So let's say that you receive an email or you receive an in-person face-to-face acceptance. So yay, hey, you've been accepted. You've been accepted by this gallery. They are willing to take you on. Well, okay, stop right there. It's not the gallery is willing to take you on. What is happening actually is you are the one who is hiring the gallery, and you're forming a partnership with this gallery, and they will work for you. You will work for them. It's a partnership. So if you ever have that thought of, oh, the gallery, no, it's fine. You don't want to have the bad gallery thought ever, that love-hate relationship again. You don't want to work against your gallery. You want to make sure that you trust your gallery. So you're hiring them and forming a partnership. And you work together in that partnership to create, promote, nurture.
But I did all the work and they get half my money, and I don't think that's fair.
But that's the way
That's how it works.
So the artist is paying this gallery a certain agreed upon percentage of sales to take on the business aspects of selling. That's that third bullet point. It's as simple as that. So some artists don't want to share. Yeah, some artists don't want to.
Good old whatever his name is.
Give 50%, some artists don't want to do that, and that's fine. Then maybe if you want all the money, then don't be a gallery artist, but do festivals that don't take as much commission percentage, do jury shows, do your own thing, do all of that. But I'll tell you what galleries do. They are open, with the internet, they're open 24 hours a day. They have staff on hand during regular business hours, plus staff on hand whenever the phone rings or the email comes. They have lights.
Lights turn on, insurance also, and the maintenance people and people like that. But they're working for you, and they want to make money, so they're going to stay open while you're in the studio making more artwork for them.
For both of you.
Yeah, for both of you.
Yeah,
they're out there selling it and working and taking people to lunch if that's necessary. That kind of a thing. It's almost like your PR person, and that's not bad.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, they represent your artwork.
And I just saw a comment saying, marketing does cost money. Yeah, it does. And so that's what the gallery does for you. And that's part of that commission percentage. Most commission percentages, just, off the top of our heads, most of it is right around 50%. Some are a little lower, some are a little higher. Yeah, it's kind of scary, but this is how it works. And how much commission they take kind of depends on what
they do.
What they'll do for you.
I mean, if they have so many shows a year, maybe for you, maybe one giant solo show or a group show for you, they pay for the parking, and they have a place that's convenient for the public to get to. Okay, or is it in the dumpy part of the town that's never turned into an art section of the town, that kind of a thing. So I'm very happy. Yes, and there were some months I sure would love to have had all that money and hated them.
But we probably would not have made those sales had the gallery not made the sale.
And then they had repeated sales, which was great too. They keep coming back every year.
As Bob said earlier when we first started this presentation, we love galleries. We love working with galleries. Sure, you can get a little curmudgeon-y along the line of, but in the long run, it has to be a win-win. And
Yeah.
that's what we appreciate out
Yeah.
of it. We're going to move on, Kelly, unless there's questions here, because we'll be answering a bunch more stuff as we go along. Okay,
I think you'll be answering the questions, so we can hold off on the questions. for now.
cool. Okay. So here's the part about the rejected. We did kind of talk about this a little bit, but again, and I don't want to backtrack too much, but if you are rejected, or if along the line the gallery comes to you, maybe you've been with them for a year or two and they go, maybe it's time to not do
Keep
this
this.
anymore. Well, it comes down to money.
Mhm.
It honestly comes down to money. And when you look at a gallery's walls, now,
Mhm.
of course, any brick and mortar place has a set amount of running feet, and that's all they have. So you kind of have to think of it as real estate. And if the things on the wall aren't selling, they have to take it down.
They have no value to that gallery.
Yeah. If it doesn't sell, they need to put stuff up there that sells. You can't take it personally. It's just part of doing business. If you have a show and nothing sells, you have to think, okay, what did I do wrong? How could I have laid this out better? What was the situation? What's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we even had
Wrong audience.
Yeah.
We were in a gallery. I mean, a festival. We should not have gotten into
Oh
it.
gosh. This is a funny. Okay. Well, let's tell this story.
Well,
This is a great story.
and there we are, all set up.
Well, we were asked.
We were asked. Actually, we were invited. Yes. I said, "Oh, cool. Don't have to apply and everything." And
They said,
so,
"Oh, we love your work. We really want you to do that."
okay, so I do all my work, and flowers and some really loose, a lot of
Abstracts
abstracts,
and
mostly abstracts.
Beautiful stuff.
And we kept watching everyone walk by and kind of look at our work, and didn't really look at our work. And then I discovered, oh my God, this is a Western theme festival. Indians and with tears in their eyes and the white ponies and I said, what the heck
What
are we doing
here?
Well, we got snookered in there, but hey, we love your work, and they sold us a space.
And
So-
but they did give you second place.
I got us.
And-
I think they felt sorry for
Yeah, I
me or
think
something.
they-
We didn't
they
sell
did too.
anything,
That was awful.
but we did get a blue ribbon for
Yeah,
second
We got
place.
second place.
For something, I don't
But
know.
you know what we did get out of that
Yeah,
show? We got a beautiful big picture article in the desert edition of the LA Times.
Yeah.
Which was quite amazing.
So again, that's valuable. We
So
can
that
use
was,
that.
yeah, and yes, that went in the portfolio, and it was a beautiful painting. So that was really a nice.
I guess they didn't want
benefit.
to. The Tribune didn't want to put in
No, it was the LA
the LA
Times.
Times put another picture of an Indian in the. Since my work was abstract, it was. So
It was
we
a
got
big
it.
cloud painting.
Yeah, oh, that's right. I
yeah,
forgot about that.
yeah.
Anyway, so we have stories.
Forgive us for that little walk down memory lane,
Right.
but that was kind of fun. So, yeah,
We've still trying to look for the silver lining, that kind of a thing.
exactly.
You have to,
Exactly.
and that's how we learn. Like never do a themed festival of cowboys and Indians.
Well, and that goes with this final bullet point, that it needs to be a perfect fit.
Yeah.
And so we didn't do real good research on that, but that is not saying that you can't. So really research and look. But the bottom line here, if you're ever rejected by any sort of gallery, it's not you, it's them. Okay.
or the lack of clientele.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So Kelly, go ahead and take the next one. So, when you get accepted by a gallery and they're excited because now you're the new kid, and they're going to get their clientele all whipped up in a frenzy because there's something new for them to come and look at. That's the fun part. And you're excited because, hey, I have a gallery, and you're doing a lot of promotion as well. But now, after that rush of the beautiful bloom on the rose and that whole thing and that great feeling, well, then it's like, yeah, my gallery. Well, yeah, I haven't sold too much.
Oh,
No,
so-
I don't know. And I don't know if this is working. Well, okay. So keeping a gallery is a little different than getting a gallery.
Mhm.
Getting it's very exciting. Now you have to keep the excitement going. I'll tell you,
need to be
folks,
visible.
it's a relationship,
So-
and you want to keep the relationship new and exciting and
To
fresh.
keep it, and you're the guy, and you're the person. Some artists think, oh, I finally got in a gallery. I don't have to do any more work.
I'm done.
I am so finished. I am in a gallery. No, just the opposite. This is when you do go to work.
So this is a checklist, basically. This
Mhm.
is something that we have found that worked so well for us. And we, at one point, I think we had 8 or 10 galleries across the country, and it was a big thing in just checking in with everybody. And I put it on the calendar. And it's not the type of thing where you'd call them up or
Mhm.
email them and go, well, did you sell anything?
You sell anything? Hurry up around here. I can't keep eating dog food.
Come on now. Come
No,
on.
no, no, it's be the opposite. Say, hey, but do check in like every 2 weeks.
2
Just
weeks.
let the staff or the people who answer the phone remember, oh yeah, that's right. We have some Bob Burridge's stuff here and blah, blah, blah. And without being a super salesperson, you don't have to keep, but hanging around outside the door waiting for somebody to walk out with one of your paintings. But so you do have to check in and ask them about, hey, what's selling? Or you'll know it's selling. Or do you find any other interest in some of my other work, that the clouds or the landscapes, or maybe it's the abstract, depends what you're doing. I said, well, we think we really like all those hot colors. They're selling. People made some great comments. And of course, so they're going to communicate to you, not that you're like painting on demand, all right, but you are. But you find out you've already painted it. You're excited about it yourself. You like the subject. Great. So do more.
And offer to rotate work. Now here's how this works again. The artist is responsible for the shipping to the gallery. So the artist will pay. You will pay to ship your work or your gas money to drive your work to the gallery.
Mhm.
That's you. There is usually in a contract no clause about the gallery shipping work back on their dime, because they're expected to sell all this stuff, right?
Mhm.
So if you're offering to rotate work, you may have to pay to have the work shipped back to you. But if you think, and the gallery thinks, that it would help with sales, then you will probably want to go ahead and do that. Put that in your budget. Because when there is fresh new work, that is just a definite way of making sales.
And certainly stimulating the staff.
Yes.
They get all. I remember just loved taking my paintings to the galleries, and they fall all over you. And
Oh gosh, and they were immediately on the phone, and they were writing emails and sending JPEGs saying, look what we have, look what we have. And they would sell the stuff even before we were gone.
Yeah, there's
which was great.
Great years.
Well, and it still can be the same thing now. It just is, put some thought behind it. Now, if work has been there for over 6 months and there hasn't been any action, that's when I would offer to rotate. Now, if you've never been to that gallery and it's a long distance relationship that you're doing, you can ask them to send them, send me photos of where it's hanging. Because I'll send those photos to my clients and my friends, so you can get information that way as well. If you have a new artist statement or a new bio or anything new in your resume, get that off to your gallery, because that's good ammunition.
Even the photographs of you actually working on pieces. They want to see you in your studio producing more work for them to sell.
And if you have a QR code that goes to a special little YouTube video of you producing something, send that to them, because then they can send that to their clients. Send them new images of all new work. And when I say seasonal strategies, this is long range stuff. You don't think of, what am I going to do for Christmas on December 1st?
Right.
You think of, what am I going to do for Christmas? Start thinking about that now.
And for next year.
Now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't go, oh yeah, it's February 10th. Maybe I should do some hearts. No. Do them in January.
The gallery's already
do
sold
them
all
in
that.
November,
The gallery's already sold those timepieces.
Yeah. So if you're doing seasonal sales, make sure you give yourself plenty of lead time. Yeah. And before you do it, ask them if they would be interested. Okay. Now the next one about inviting the gallery owners to your studio. Again, it's to keep everybody all whipped up. You want to get that excitement churned up.
So if you have a nice gallery, you're going to make it nice, and they're going to say, "Wow, he's really made an investment for his future, their future," and they're going to see that. Look, this is a production studio. They're going to be painting all the time. If you paint in your laundry room, and you use the dryer, to dry your paintings or something, photograph that, tell the truth, and they're going to say, "Wow, and he did all this work in the laundry and drying room, laundry rather," something like that. If you paint outside on a picnic table, and have someone takes lots of photographs of you working there, again, the gallery will be taking that and send them more things to talk about.
Yeah.
More things to talk about. They raise chickens in between paintings or something like that. So it's more human interest stuff.
It's interesting when we first started working with the commercial gallery in San Francisco, they were delighted that Bob was able to go there and talk to the staff give a presentation and to do a painting demo for them, because then they had confidence in him that, okay, well, let's give him a solo show because he can talk to people. We've heard horror stories about artists will go in there and they'll be so antisocial, they'll find them in the kitchen.
Yeah, during their show opening.
Because they
right.
And it's difficult. So since it was easier for Bob, because he's easy to talk to and very engaging, yes. And so they felt that confidence of, okay, good, he can talk to people. And that's an added bonus. All right.
Most artists are shy and don't like to talk about their. Get over it.
Yeah,
it's what you're doing.
When we do the webinar on self promo, we talk about having an elevator speech, and I think Bob even mentioned elevator speech a little earlier. Yeah. That's just a small description of what it is that you do, and you can memorize. Write it down, memorize it. And then after you get real comfortable with it, then you can totally depart and be a little bit more. But it'll be just so good if you can get out of you and give to them.
And show some personality.
Exactly. Okay. I think we've done that.
Have we beat that one today?
So Kelly, go ahead and go to the next one. Okay, now we're getting into the my head is going to explode kind of stuff. All right, so you need a contract.
Have a sip of water.
I will have a sip of water. Right. Yeah, I will do that. And yes, you need a contract.
And a sip of water.
Mm-hmm. Don't be afraid of contracts. All right, that's the first thing I want to tell you.
They're your friends.
They're there to solve any future problems that may come up. And as Bob said earlier, those problems concern what?
Money.
Yep, it concerns
Who and
money.
when you get it.
Yeah. So I always like to say that a contract is fluid. So if the gallery, now this is when they're interested in you, and it's going to be before you take work to them. You never, ever drop your work off. I know Lisa does. Drop your work off anywhere, to a gallery without a contract, without a written contract. So if the gallery says, "Oh yeah, I'll get you a contract," go, "Okay, when?" And don't drop work off until.
Where do I sit while you write up the contract? Yeah.
Exactly. Or if said gallery says, "Oh no, we don't bother with contracts. We always just do it on a
Handshake. Do it on the handshake. Oh gee, run far, run fast.
No, that's a red flag. Okay. If they say, "Oh, here's a contract, but you can't take it home. You have to sign it right now." No, no. You take the contract, take it home,
Read it.
and have somebody else read it too.
If you don't understand a lawyerese word, find out what it means. Have it speak English.
Exactly.
Not a big legal contract.
If there's something that you don't like in the contract, what you do is you cross it out, you write in what you want instead, initial it, and then you give it back to them.
That's how that works.
And then they will do the same thing. So it's a fluid back and forth. So contracts should have several things in it, and I've put those in the bullet points. The contract has to state a clear commission percentage. Gallery takes 50% commission upon sale. Okay. If there is nothing in there about a commission percentage, do not sign the contract, because that's missing info. See under red flags, missing info. You gotta know. If it's a sliding commission percentage, how do you know? You don't. So it has to be laid out. Now, my whole thing is, most galleries will ask you for your price list. Now, some will even say your net price list, because what they're doing is they're sidestepping commission percentage. They're just saying, "Oh, they want 500 for it. Good. Okay." Then you're giving them permission
to charge anything for that.
And give you 500.
And they'd be happy to give you $500 while they keep the $30,000 that they sold your painting for.
Or $450 or whatever it may be. But so you need that commission percentage. So if you are giving them a price list, make it very, very crystal clear for you and them. It is your retail price list. We're getting good at this.
I'll leave the room. I don't even need to.
So
retail price list.
After you have a commission percentage, and I'll tell you a little horror story on this in a minute. You must have a clause in that contract about payment, and it is when the artist will be paid. If there is nothing there, then
you put it in.
You
write it in.
Yeah.
That you get paid maybe 30 days after sale.
That's pretty standard.
That's a standard thing.
Yeah, 30 days after the sale. What our gallery did, which I don't think I've ever heard it from any other gallery, they would pay us upon sale, which was awesome. As soon as
me painting more.
As soon as that check cleared,
oh boy,
or that MasterCard payment came through, we would have our money, which was amazing. Generally, what happens when it's 30 days on sale, after the sale, They usually drag it for 45, maybe even 60 days. And what's happening is they're using your money that was sold to pay off the other
Artists, yeah.
artists from the previous month. And then it's icky.
Mismanagement.
It's messy. So you want to have a clause in there concerning payment. Look to make sure that they have insurance.
Mhm.
And if there's nothing in the contract about having insurance, and this is going to be for theft, for damage, for
Certainly fire.
fire, you've got to be covered, because your homeowner's insurance is not going to cover it, and you should not be covering insurance. I let a gallery
Yeah.
go without signing a contract. I made them get insurance before we'd sign.
It took them quite a few months
It
till I realized they really wanted my paintings.
It really
And
did.
Kate just said, nope, not until we see a copy of the
Yeah,
insurance.
I need insurance. And they finally caved and got it, which I'm happy. Yeah. And something else that you could definitely put into a contract would be how many times you would have a show
Oh, yeah.
per year. That's a really good contractual agreement. Another one would be, and this would be from the gallery's point of view, how
So
many
many.
times you, the artist, would deliver work, or how many paintings they would require within the month. Some of
Like
those things.
2
are
or
there.
3 a month. They'll be written out there. And it's in your contract too. It says, yes, I'll be delivering 2 to 3. And you've signed it. And so if you don't have 2 or 3 paintings, or if they don't sell what they're hoping to, what they said they would, you have the right, the legal right, to walk in there and just take your paintings right out of that
Yeah, you
gallery
can cancel the contract.
and cancel the contract.
All contracts, I call it an out clause.
Mm.
All contracts will have one, and it'll be an out for the artist and also an out for the gallery.
Galleries.
And generally for the gallery, it's because you as the artist did not live up to how many paintings they required, or having a show. And the way you can nullify the agreement is if they didn't pay you on time, if they took your work out of the gallery and put it into a restaurant.
Oh,
or,
my.
That's happened to
Didn't
us,
hang, yeah.
little things like that. A really odd story that happened to us about this contract and this commission percentage thing. I'll just take a couple of seconds to tell you. Bob was offered a contract with a really big deal gallery, a really big deal. It was a chain gallery. And it was based out of San Francisco, but they had galleries all over the world, basically. And they wanted Bob, and they wanted exclusive. And which means that we would have to sever all relationships with any other galleries and only work with this particular gallery. And we were flirting with it. We were thinking about it. And I said, okay, what's your, and they're asking about prices. And I said, what's your commission percentage? And they went, oh, no. And they tap danced around that a little bit. And I never got a answer.
Yeah.
And so we kind of tap danced around that for a few months until I finally said, you don't have a clear commission percentage, do you? And they said, no. And I said, I'm sorry, we can't work with you. And I've never regretted the decision.
I'm so glad too.
As I had pictures of him being
all over the
chained in
world.
the basement, just doing what they told him he had to do, since it was an exclusive, which is kind of scary.
I mean, that meant that the only money I would be able to make is an annual salary. And could they do it? I doubt it. But I'm glad we said no.
Now, there was another question earlier about how long would you be with the gallery? And I said, well, it would kind of depend on the contract. So also in the contract, there's going to be more or less a time frame Personally, I think 3 years is great. 1 year is not enough, because sometimes it takes you a while to get established with a gallery, with their clientele and their salespeople and everything. And you may have this great salesperson that loved your work and was great, and then they moved on, then all of a sudden all your sales dropped, and you may need to
rotate. Yeah.
And so I think 3 years is really good. 2 years is okay. 1 year, I'd say no. And now there's also a geographic thing that you should look at on a contract. If the gallery wants an exclusive, when we first,
For the world.
oh geez, when we first signed, we were signing the contract with the San Francisco gallery, she wanted a worldwide exclusive, and we just said no. No.
I mean, the whole idea of being a painter was to not be working for the man, right? And so we were right back into it again.
Yeah, and
No.
it's just not feasible for worldwide, statewide, unless you're in a little teeny tiny state. I mean, you need to have some different activities and atmosphere and outlets. Yes. So this is stuff to really look for. Now the last thing, what happens if the gallery closes? This has to be in a contract too.
Who owns the artwork?
You might think that sounds really funny, but it depends on what the state that this gallery is in, how they view consignment pieces in a gallery. Okay. So some states, if the gallery goes bankrupt, some states will attach those pieces of artwork as assets. And so that's scary. So you want to really read that paragraph about what happens with bankruptcy and with closures. And it needs to state that the gallery does not own the work. It should also state, just as a matter of course, that the gallery does not own the copyright of the artist's work.
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
And galleries know this. Sometimes it's not in there, but it needs to be in there.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, there are a lot of great books and articles about contracts with galleries.
Yes.
And there's two types of relationships. There is a gallery relationship where it's contractual, the way we're talking about it, 1 to 3 years, 3 years being optimum. You are a gallery artist. You're there ongoing, whether you are featured in like a big one-person show or a group show, but you're still there in the gallery. Now, there's another contract with the gallery that maybe it's just for a specific amount of time. It could be just for this show, which might be a 1 month run or a 2 month run. Then you would have a special consignment contract for only that time. But it would still need when you would be paid, if there is insurance, what happens if the gallery closes, what is the commission percentage? So you would still follow that stuff in the contract. The red flags, yep, we've covered missing info. Pressure to sign contract, nope, take it home, let other people see it. Then there's your gut.
Comes down to that, doesn't it? If you get a yucky feeling walking in a gallery, I'm not so sure. It's how you're treated, especially initially when you walked in there. If they ignored you, they're going to ignore everybody else.
Yep.
Sometimes, I'll be honest, some galleries smell bad. I mean, I'm sorry, it's not conducive for buying your artwork, that kind of stuff.
And some galleries you just do you have an icky feeling. You don't want to communicate with them. You have the feeling that you're being ripped off. You just feel. Ugh.
You mean the guy in the shark skin suit and penciled in mustache? Okay.
You could be
And
describing
the
Salvador
sunglasses.
Dali.
No, and the sunglasses. No. Right.
So
Hey, Bob, there's a quick question about contracts. Is it typical that the gallery provides the contract, or
Yeah.
is it ever the other way around?
It is typical that the gallery provides the contract. But I always will say this too, if the gallery does not have a contract, then you
do it.
provide it.
Yeah.
On that note, is there a template that you're able to share with them, or
Yeah.
the books, the references, I guess?
Yes. Let me, what I'll do, Kelly, is I can share that and then you can send it to folks. Would that be a good
That's
way of?
possible. Mhm.
Okay, we could probably do that. There's one book that just comes right to mind really quickly. It's called Art Marketing 101. That is an excellent book.
Mhm.
And there is everything in there. There's templates on receipts. There's templates on contracts.
Great. Perfect.
It's a great book.
Yeah.
It has everything in
It's a
it.
really good book. It's easy to read too.
Yeah.
It's almost like a textbook manual. Yeah. Oh, Trina says, yep, she has it.
Oh, yeah,
Yep,
cool.
cool. Yep.
Art marketing, it's all in there.
Yeah, Art Marketing 101. They also have a Art Licensing 101, which is also awesome.
Licensing, as you know, is making money while you sleep.
Yep.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
good. And Sky also has something there too, that there's some templates in a business.
Excellent.
Yeah, cool. Thank you. The nice thing about these webinars is we build such a lovely community with each other, with how you're putting in comments and questions and everything, that it's really quite amazing. I love this stuff. Yeah. Anything else on questions, Kelly?
I think you're going to touch on a couple on the next slide. So
Cool. Okay. Yeah. Next slide.
Mm.
Okay. We have added this little bonus feature because it has been our experience that the more that you are willing to do with your gallery, the
Like,
more that they
we'll
will
sell your work.
and they'll
Hello.
love you.
Commissions is another way of doing it. Most artists think, oh, I don't like doing commissions. It's probably because you do them wrong. I'm just going to just say it.
And before Bob gets started,
Yeah.
I'm just going to say, let them know right off the bat,
Oh, yeah.
while you're talking early, when they're looking over your work, you can say, yeah, I do a lot of commission work. I love doing commissions. I have a lot of success with commissions. And sometimes that will just put you into another category.
Yeah,
with
they can
them.
they can use you
Yeah.
to their advantage. And and they say things like, if you don't see anything here that you like, he does do commissions. And now that continues them having a conversation with that possible client, you see. And so again, any more things that they can show. Okay. So yeah, you do commissions. I love to do commissions. Let them know that. All right. So what is a commission, Kate, or what isn't?
Well, okay,
Should I-
so sure, go ahead.
Should I go right into
Yeah,
it?
you go right into
Okay,
it.
then this is not a commission. Well, first of all, I love these when you're outside doing these festivals. You
Or
can-
even at the gallery.
even at the gallery, yeah, they'll say that too. You're right. Bring it back to the gallery again. I always like it when I hear people say, "Do you have his painting, but in a smaller size?"
This won't fit my wall. Does it come a little smaller too?
Or is this one? Can you have this one? Is this one? Can you have this one more reds in it?
Or I don't drink red wine. Does he have any with Chardonnay?
Yeah, something like that. That's not a commission. So, or another one I was like, they said, next time you do one like this one, I might buy it. Yeah, I hear this a lot. No, let's do a commission.
So if a gallery salesperson or gallery director would hear a customer saying, oh, well, does he ever do wine with Chardonnay? And because Bob did a lot of wine bottle paintings. Does he ever do Chardonnay? She'd say, he would love to do one for you. And then they'll just whip out that, clipboard and iPad and get everything all written down and get the sale going. So this can work to your advantage.
So you do have a criteria list, by the way. It's a form that you've created and copied,
And use this one.
and
Please
this is
use
the one.
this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You use the one that we have here as a sample. But and number one, you have to communicate with the person that's buying the painting. The person that's buying the painting, not through a salesperson. Oh, I'll tell them. I'll pass that information on to you. No,
No.
they won't.
And sometimes they'll say, oh,
Oh.
no, we'll just, funnel the information through us and you don't need to talk to the client. It's like that game of communication where the message gets really garbled
By the time you get
time.
to the next end of the line, yeah. Some galleries treat you like they don't trust you. Oh, we don't want them to talk directly to the client. They'll unsell it or whatever reason. No, you talk to the person that's actually paying the money and on the contract, on the commission, and because that's the person you're going to be selling the painting, delivering the painting to.
We had done this painting for this situation, and we would submit like, well, here's the finished work, and we heard back from the gallery, oh, well, no, it's not what they wanted, and we'll look at the criteria again, and Bob would do it again and go, well, no. And then we find out that he'd been doing a vertical painting and they wanted horizontal, but we were told vertical. So
And so somebody didn't know what vertical or horizontal was. Anyway, enough of that. But yeah, you talk to the person and you make your delivery to that person.
well, no, you would be making the delivery to
Oh,
the
yeah,
gallery.
yeah, that's what I'm sorry, the
To the
gallery. That's
gallery.
right. That's right.
Yes, this is a little different.
And it'd be even better if the person that's buying the painting is there too.
Yes.
And not bring the mother-in-law and not bring the kids.
That, yeah.
Right. So they fill out the criteria form.
Not the gallery, the
not
person.
The person, yeah. And it says down to the things about what size is it? Is there something that you want me to match your sofa?
We insist on paint chips and carpet and
If they say they
upholstery
want that, I want that
swatches.
lavender color, that lavender color. Well, their idea of lavender is going to be different than yours. So
Absolutely.
give me a color wall chip. Yes, I will match your sofa.
And this type of criteria sheet, it's not just for use with a gallery commission. You can use this for any commission.
I should say.
Absolutely.
Sorry.
Any commission at all.
So then you start and get started on the, where are we here? Number three.
Number 3, work out all the details.
Yeah, with the gallery, strictly with the gallery, and we've never had one fail yet. No. And we do a lot of commissions, but I like doing them because you get to work with someone who's really talking to you and enthusiastic about your work. And the gallery people know how to collect clients.
They do. They're good at it.
And they're really good at it. And they pride themselves with how many clients they have. So working with them is a lot easier with you. And certainly when they have the criteria form already written out, filled out, and signed by the people that's going to be, should the gallery sign it or should the people sign
No,
it?
the people should sign
They
it.
should sign it.
It's an interesting thing because not too many galleries will have a criteria sheet like this. So this is part of the professionalism of the whole thing. You have it, it's your fallback if there's ever any problems because it's a contract.
How do you know if the
So-
painting's finished if
Yeah.
it doesn't match your criteria?
So I'd like to kind of bring us back into a summary and
Sure.
wrap this all up and get any other questions.
Great.
But I think as you have kind of seen from what we've been saying, it's advantageous to have a gallery as part of your toolbox to sell your work. It expands your base of operations more so than just strictly doing open studios and some juried shows and maybe even a co-op gallery here and there. So we are strong proponents of the gallery system, but you have to feel good about it. You treat it as a professional business relationship. you have as much responsibility to them as they have back to you. That's why you have a contract. So, I hope this has been useful. We're good with taking more questions.
Yeah.
If there's anything that we don't are not able to answer due to time today, if there's questions that still come in, we can get those filtered to us. So if we've missed out on anything today, we'll still do this. There is a webinar poll. Please fill this out. I'll let Kelly talk about this a little bit.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah, just there's a quick poll. Your feedback is very important. It helps us get funding to bring Kate and Bob back and provide these webinars to you for free. So please do take a moment if you can. And while you guys are filling it out, let's just get some questions answered, because there were a couple I was waiting to get on. So one of the questions was, what is an average commission a gallery would charge?
50.
50%.
Or a
all
little
has to,
higher.
and it has to do with what they do for you.
The higher the commission percentage, the more they're going to do for you.
Great. And along those lines, does a gallery still get a commission for the commissioned work?
Yes.
The one where you're getting a form?
Yes. And sometimes you can charge a higher retail price for commissions since it's a special project, and therefore the gallery would earn some more money too.
Great. And then about bodies of work, there are two questions kind of about the same. Can you elaborate more about a body of work with one concept? And along those lines, someone had asked, is there a difference between showing abstract landscapes and abstract florals, or is it better to only show them separately?
Okay, great questions. Now, body of work with one concept. The concept needs to be a very broad concept. I'm going to use two examples. One concept is from a now deceased artist who was extremely popular and made a huge amount of money, and his concept was painter of light. You probably know who that is, and I can hear you groaning right now. But Thomas Kincaid, the painter of light. Think about all the various
From
lights.
Candles, windows, sunrises, sunsets,
Water and lights,
waves,
just light. Now, Bob had a theme called the good life. And within that broad theme was wine bottles and martini glasses and cigars and cut crystal ashtrays and big opulent flower vases and big red comfy chairs and frosty martinis. So it was the good life.
Right.
So as broad as you can get, and then you'll be able to write about it, which will give your gallery ammunition to say, oh yes, this is our new artist, Robert Burridge. He paints the good life. Can't you just see it?
On the central coast of California. Hello. So
if we said
that's what I painted.
If we said he was the Central Coast wine bottle painter, that would really narrow that
and lock
market.
me in.
He would only be doing wine bottles, which would be kind of boring. So the bigger the concept or theme
broader
that you choose, the more stuff you can fit into it.
Good question.
Yeah. Oh, you're muted. Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're out of time. I do see a couple more questions, which I will implement into the follow-up email to everyone. So I will include the resources about contracts and hopefully some answers from Kate and Bob about the leftover questions we have. And just a quick reminder that today's webinar was brought to you by California's Women's Business Center. We are all over California to help you with your entrepreneurial journey. If one is not located close to you, there are other small business development centers that do the exact same thing. This is also a national program, so if you're not in California, we are all over the nation. Just do search up local SBDC to you. And with that, I thank everyone's time, including Kate and Bob and all our wonderful participants for your wonderful questions. And chats. And again, thank you for your feedback. And I hope to see you all at our next webinar, which is, I think, the series coming in the fall, right?
Yes.
Can't
Yes,
wait.
can't wait.
Perfect. I
Thank
thank
you,
everyone
Kelly.
again. Yeah, thank you both. I always love our webinars with you, and see you all at the next webinar.